bit of an announcement before we kick off in the water, so if you want to gather around, that would be awesome.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's really wonderful to see everyone here. If we haven't met already, my name is Lena and I work for Watershed Watch Salmon Society. Our mission is to stand up for salmon and the waters in which they live, so of course habitat like the Hope Slough right here. We're quite supportive of we really are encouraged by what's going on out here with the Hope Slough and all of the blue waterways, the blue trails of Chilliwack. So I'll quickly turn it over to Sam to talk a little bit about that. But just with regards to what I'm doing with Watershed Watch, we have a campaign called Connected Waters. And we're looking to reconnect waterways in the Lower Fraser that have been impacted by dikes and dike infrastructure. So of course Chilliwack is a prime example of a community that is built around needing to protect, to create a farmland and protect our homes and our own habitats. But we also need to consider the habitats of salmon and all of the other animals we share this space with. So what we want to do is raise awareness of waterways like the Hope Slough, like the Camp Slough, and find ways to partner with community organizations like the Friends of the Camp Hope Slough to celebrate what's there and find ways to improve it. And sometimes that means some really big thinking ideas around, is this a dike that needs to be here? Can we consider green infrastructure? And some of those conversations are really difficult. And there's some really creative ways of approaching that, and that's why I wanted to highlight the Blue Trails program that the city just approved. So,
yeah, thank you. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sam Waddington, and I'm on council here in Chilliwack. But it's awesome to see a bunch of people out here. There's others over there who are renting canoes and boats as well. So we're kind of split up into two groups, but this water course is a really interesting one. As Lena mentioned, many of you know, but these waterways are heavily impacted by the fact that our diking infrastructure cuts off the natural flow. These waters should be rising right now with the raising Fraser River, and that's what causes this fertile floodplain of the Fraser that we all get to farm and live on. So these waterways no longer have that, so we're doing a few different things. We partnered with a couple other municipalities. We're bringing some resolutions forward for the province to consider around infrastructure, flood infrastructure, which is crucially important to a city like Chilliwack, but that it recognizes the need for some level of passage of water through that and the habitats that it's cut off, and helping to mitigate some of those challenges. And then at the City of Chilliwack, we've been fortunate enough to have an awesome group step forward and actually take a leadership role, the Friends of the Camp Hope Slough. And what we've seen happen in the last couple of years is the conversation's really shifted. People are talking about this as a potential recreation corridor. They talk about the value of the habitat, and the political pressure has been on, so thank you for your work in that. It gives me a voice at council, and we've been able to make some changes. We're studying what a comprehensive slough restoration project could look like. The dollar signs are massive, so it's going to be a challenge. Our high estimates put it up over $30 million to fully restore these waterways, make them navigable, remove culverts, do some of that work. But hopefully there's some provincial monies and federal monies available as well to help make that happen, and the political will to see that budget go through. But in the interim, until we see the results of those studies and we have solid options to choose from, we've moved forward with making this at least as recreatable as possible. So it's our Blueway strategy, and we have new Blueway access nodes coming in across the city over the next year, which are going to be marked parking areas with map infrastructure, signage, trail access, and boat launch access right on the water in numerous places on the Camp Hope Slough, on the Vedder River, and on the Fraser River as well. So it's about reconnecting with our waterways. We have the best water courses in Chilliwack. The variety and the diversity from lakes and rivers to things like this that are, inland waterways, it's pretty incredible. And right now, as we're all going to find out, we're going to bushwhack through some blackberries to get down to it. So it's going to be neat to see that come on board. My goal is that that's step one, that as soon as people get their boats in the water and start experiencing these waterways, they're going to know what we already know, which is the value of this system, and hopefully moving forward to see a bit more pressure put on to say this is a value to us and we'd like to see it restored, and that the city budgets, and our political pressure to the province reflects that. So thank you all for coming today, and we're going to have some places along the water course to stop and learn a few things as we go if it's not too swift, but I'll hand it over to Lena to give the details on how we're going to launch.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so
guys.
just some logistics. Thank you, Sam. Just some logistics. As you noticed, of course, the current's quite swift, so we're going to be speeding along. As soon as you are in your canoe, you can get going. The folks down there, so Roxana will, in one of the lime green Save Us Slough t-shirts, will be at the front. Nikki will be in the middle, and then Mike is here. Where's Mike? Mike's going to be at the very end to make sure everyone's nice and safe. Once we're ready to go, if people can start to take their canoes or kayaks down through the trail that's somewhat created already. It's going to be a bit muddy, so just careful about slipping. I'll be down there helping you get into your canoes, and then you can start paddling down. We're going to try and stop halfway, so I hope you've grabbed some snacks already, because I'll try to bring them with me, but if you haven't, grab some snacks. And garbage, picker-uppers, gloves, and garbage bags. So as we go, as you see things, please feel free to safely pull them into the canoe. And we'll try to stop halfway because we have a visitor with us, Dave Scott from Marine Coast Conservation, who would love to share some of his insights doing his master's thesis on waterways impacted by dike infrastructure. And at the very end, I hope you guys get to hang around a little because Mike has actually dropped some traps into the water. So he'll pull them out and we'll see what kind of fish or amphibians we find there. So at the end, do that. And to get back to your cars and load your canoes, once we pull up at Kinsman Park, pull your canoes up onto the side, and Mount Waddington's shuttle is going to bring you back here so you can get your cars, come back there and load the canoes. So it's going to be another half an hour once we get off on that side to get us all going.
Don't forget your keys. A couple people left them up here last time, so
yes.
Don't forget your keys.
Right, so just be really safe. Please wear your life jackets and carefully put garbage in if you find any as we go. Yes.
And one real practical point, when we're launching on this side, when you come under the culvert, there's a bit of a sweeper tree right on the far side, the downstream side on the left, so hug the right as you come through and you'll be fine.
Great, thank you. Yeah, last year we had a couple of canoes tip over right as we got in. It was a sunny day, so it was okay.
It's only about waist deep there, but it's an annoying way to start your day.
Yeah, if you fall out, stand up. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's shallow enough. Awesome. So shall we start? Did anyone have any questions? Yeah. We're all good? Awesome. So why don't we start getting canoes in the water?
Sounds good. Let's head back over to ours. Awesome. And we're just over where those guys are down there, yeah.
Have fun. Sorry.
I knew I shouldn't have put it down.
Sorry, I hope I didn't break it.
We'll have to wait back.
Yeah.
That's just not fair. It's not fair. Let's just follow that.
How old are we? How old are we?
Once again, we're getting in the way.
That's called insider information on stuff.
Yeah.
Probably works with that.
Yeah, we can walk down.
My boy.
You walk down until we get down there, because we gotta carry the canoe.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You want a hand?
Yeah, please.
Let's get down behind the canoe. Let's take it up.
What are you doing? Why?